Goals create focus. What happens if you have a magnifying glass and sunshine? Anybody know? The guys in the room are going to know this. Yeah, you got fire. Exactly. Focus creates fire, right? And so one of the things that goals create is goals create focus. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 9:26, he says, I don't run without a goal. I'm not a boxer who's just swinging and beating the air. It's like I'm actually doing something with a purpose. I'm not playing air guitar, basically, is what he's saying. What a goal does is a goal gives you the focus, and it gives you the ability to say yes and the ability to say no. The biggest detriment to our lives is either we're distracted or we waste time. This is the big thing. What happens in people's lives is they're either distracted or they're wasting time. That's why you can't move forward. Well, you're distracted a lot of times because you don't have a goal. You're distracted a lot of times because you don't know what the objective is, right? There's nothing there. So these things, you get pulled over here and pulled over here. Then you're also distracted. You don't have a goal, so you waste a lot of time. When you have goals, you tend to be motivated. You tend to so like, again, going back to the relationship thing, like, if I'm provoked and I want my marriage to be different and I want a different relationship with my wife, and even when I have to tell myself I'm not going to be that person, so I'm saying no to the person that I was because my goal is not to be that person anymore, and I start to say yes to the person that I'm going to be. I'm going to be more patient. I'm going to be less reactive, so I'm not going to react here. I'm going to handle myself differently because that is not the person I want to be, and this is the person I want to be because my goal is not to remain the same. My goal is to be different. And so what a goal does is it helps you to determine your yes and your no. You understand that? So it's like, okay, I'll use another one, and hopefully this is a little bit more on the positive side from my, because I'm trying to throw myself under the bus here a little bit to help you guys. But is that Jesus calling? So I love saying that. Anyway, just kidding. But so like I go on walks in the morning, right? I go on walks in the morning just to hear the Lord. You know, Shelly had to deliver something to me the other day. She's like, "Where are you?" I'm way down. And she's like, "That's you way down there?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's me way down here." So I go on these walks in the morning just to try to set my heart right, because I have to have a bearing, and I try to hear the Lord, and I try to connect myself to the Lord in the deepest way I possibly can in that day. That becomes a yes to me. There is no other yes. That is my morning. There's no other yes before that. Maybe take the garbage out, but that's about it. There's no other yes before that. That is my yes, because my goal is to center my heart where God wants it to be, and my goal is to connect to Him because it's going to affect the rest of my day. That is my yes. You understand that? And so I say no to everything else. It's like, "Hey, I need you to do that." And I'll be like, "I'll do it in an hour and 15 minutes. I'm not doing that. You have this. It's not going to happen before this time because that's not my yes. That's my yes." Do you understand what this means? It determines your yes. That's what goals do. Goals get you moving and provide hope. Job says this, "I have no strength to go on. I do not have any goals that encourage me to carry on." When you have a goal, you have encouragement. Let's say you've completely blown up your life, and I'm sitting here today telling you that if you set goals, you can completely reset your life. Completely. Within 5 years. You can be in a dramatically different place in 5 years. You can be in a dramatically different place in 12 months, but you can be in a significantly different place in 5 years if you'll set the goals down. Now all of a sudden you got hope. You got hope. You're like, "Whoa, wait a minute, I thought it was all over." You know, so now your goal is to get the goal. So what's my goal? My goal is to find goals, right? To find goals that I can achieve, find goals. So that now gives you hope and gives you something to carry on. You get motivated. You get up and get moving. I watched this show on Richard Branson. Sherry's got me on this documentary thing on Richard Branson, the airline guy, whatever. But he's doing Virgin Galactic, trying to take people into space, which, that's another story. But the thing I noticed is they had one of these engineers on there, and this engineer was so committed to the process that he would get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and he would work for free, and he was doing all this extra stuff. And the reason was because it was something that he had a goal towards. He said, "I wanted to put rockets in space all my life." So this kind of lined up with his goal. So he didn't need to find the motivation. It was already there. It lined up with his goal, right? Does that make sense to you?